Start the live. So today I kind of want to talk about, yay, Adele from Australia. Hi. So today I want to talk about that what you think matters. Okay. And, it's so interesting because, we always talk about like, don't pay attention to what someone is saying, pay attention to their actions, pay attention to what they're doing, pay attention to how they're showing up in their lives or how they're showing up in your life. And what I want to talk about a little bit is yes, paying attention. Hey, Neem, nice to see you. What I want to talk about is what you think matters. Yes, your energy matters, but it's also what you think. And so it doesn't matter. And this is something that I've discovered being in business for 8+ years for myself, being in the business of energy and consciousness. It never shows up the way you think it's going to. And I will tell you that the energy you are with your relationships, with people, with your family, it matters. And what you think really freaking matters. And oftentimes, and I see this all the time with entrepreneurs are like, oh my God, what do I need to do? Right. And so they will, and people who go on diets do this too. They're like, what do I need to do? But oftentimes, when you're doing something that you're told to do, your energy is not behind the doing. Does that make sense? So you kind of have to get you and your energy and your thoughts and what you think and how you feel in alignment with your actions. Does that make sense? Right? Does that make sense? Yes. So it really does matter what we think. And, years ago, when I first started using the tools of Access Consciousness, you can check out accessconsciousness.com and find a whole ton of stuff there. You can go to my website, find a whole ton of stuff about these amazing magical tools. So over 9 years ago, I was a hairdresser. I was married. I was not yet pregnant. And my life was great from so many levels. And I knew that my life could be 1,000 times greater. And I was watching all of my amazing clients who I had the fortune of cutting their hair, coloring their hair, giving them business advice, giving them relationship advice. And they'd all come back and be like, Katherine, what do you do while you're cutting our hair? Because they knew they weren't just getting a haircut. They knew they were coming in for a whole Katherine experience. And I was like, so they'd come back and they'd be like, oh my gosh, my relationship is getting better. Oh my gosh, the sex is better. Oh my gosh, I just made more money in my business. I'd have CEOs come in and be like, wow, you just like saved our company so much money. And I'd be like, what? Yes. Adele says, say what you mean and mean what you say. Yeah, but it's even deeper than that, Adele. So when I say what you think matters, so if you say, I want to lose weight. But what you think underneath what you say is, I can't, you'll never be able to lose weight. If you say, I want to make $100,000 in my business, but you don't believe you deserve more than 50,000, you'll never make it. So it's not just what you say, it's what you think underneath what you're saying. Right. And that is where that can make all the difference between a successful business, a successful marriage, a successful relationship, a successful relationship with your kids. Because Lord knows I have an 8-year-old and OMG, he goes between his dad and I, and sometimes it can be really challenging. Right. Adele says, right. Does that make sense, you guys? And so it's not just what you say, it's literally what you think. So here's an example. If you are creating a class or you're promoting your business and you get on social media and you're like, you're doing promotions. You're like, I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to do this. I got to do that. But you're like not energetically in the energy of the class. You're not connected to what's possible. The class isn't going to be as successful, right? And so there's always these things that we can do to look at the energy underneath, right? And so if something isn't going the way you want it to, the first thing I tell people is, what are you thinking? What's your point of view, as we say in Access, right? And so Gary Douglas, the founder of Access, he says your point of view creates your reality. Your reality does not create your point of view. I'm going to say that again. Your point of view creates your reality. Your reality does not create your point of view. Right. And so if you have the point of view that life is hard, that life isn't fair, that you always get dealt the worst hand in the deck, that money's hard to come by, that we have to suffer, that in order to get to success, you have to take the long road or the hard road or the difficult road. All of those things are your points of views, and it's what you think. And guess what? You will create what you think. So if you think that your body is fat and what you eat makes you fat, you will create a body that is fatter than what you'd like. Okay. If you have the point of view that your body is sexy, it loves food, and it processes food easy, your chances are you're going to have an easier time with your body. Yeah. Adele says, so can we clear some crap then, please? Yeah. And here's the simple thing is not just to clear the crap, it's to choose a different point of view. So if your point of view is you don't deserve it, what point of view could you put in place of that? Like, what could you look at or decide, or, right? And so if you guys all watching could agree that there's at least one point of view that you could change today that would make a difference in your life right away, right? Type yes in the chat, or a heart, or a double hand, or a high five, or whatever it is. It's like, you know, we every day, and I have been looking at this diligently. We have a class coming up tomorrow on points of views, and I've been looking at, wow, what are all the points of views that instead of just clearing them, what's a new point of view I could choose instead, right? So Marlene's like, yes. High five, Marlene. Hell yes, says Adele. Okay, cool. I'm high-fiving you guys, right? And so oftentimes we go, oh, I'll get to that tomorrow. Oh, I'll change that, next week. Oh, I'll go on a diet tomorrow. I'll pay attention to what I eat, next month. It's like, what could you change today? And this is where it's so, like, I think it's undervalued. And when you really pay attention to it, it literally can change everything. Okay. Yes. Okay. So, my magical, amazing friends that are watching, what if right now there is one thought, one point of view, one shift in your perspective that would literally change your reality? And so I'm going to give you guys some examples, but if you have an example pertaining to your own life and you'd like to type it in the chat, or you have a specific question on this topic that you'd like me to answer, please feel free to type it in the chat, because this is all about interaction, right? Why? Because the more that we show up in our own lives, we make other people's lives better. The more that we participate in going, oh, I'm the common denominator of everything in my life, well, then I guess change starts within. Change starts with me. And so I'll give you guys an example. An example of one point of view you could change right now is, instead of thinking money's hard, the coronavirus has changed businesses, which is true, you could go, wow, money is everywhere, right? And what would it take for me to receive everywhere money is? That's a different point of view than money's hard to come by. If you're somebody who's struggling to lose weight, or you have a hard time with your relationship with your body, so maybe you judge your weight, maybe you're somebody who's dealing with a lot of pain, maybe you've been diagnosed with diabetes or shingles or something that is hard for you to swallow. So yeah, is like, you could go, instead of going, my body's difficult, or I have a hard time losing weight. You could say, point of view could be, wow, my body has shown up for me since the day I was born. What would it take to be grateful for it every day? That's a different point of view than I can't lose weight. You see how it opens the door, right? And so you don't have to go from it's hard to lose weight to, oh, it's easy to lose weight, because you might not be there. But what could be authentic is, wow, my point of view with my body could be, I am so grateful. My body has been with me since the day I was born. What would it take for me to receive the contribution? What would it take for me to be grateful for how much my body's been there for me? Do you see how that's different? So Adele's saying, so change the point of view from I'm lazy to I'm not lazy. Well, possibly, right? So if your point of view is you're lazy, you could also change your point of view to, oh, I really love when it's easy for me to receive. I love to receive. I love when things come easy. I'm really good at receiving, right? And so, yeah, and Adele, like, you might not be lazy, because is like, it's really about what is that thing that you can find that you go, oh. So, an example could be relationships are hard, or communication in relationships. I'm dealing with my hair right now. Communication in relationships are hard. And it could be, hmm, figuring out what's true for me is the key to better communication in my relationships, right? You can see how this can happen. Really simple shifts, but your point of view creates your reality. So if your reality is hard, or you're struggling in a certain area, instead of clearing the point of view, my invitation is, what new point of view could you adopt or tweak or change so that you're like, ooh, I can get on board with that. Because, my friends, when you are in the energy of creation, it is the easiest time to receive. It's also the place where you're lit up, you're on fire. You don't have time to judge you. You don't have time to judge your food. You don't have time to judge your body. You don't have time to make yourself wrong, because what? You're in the energy of creation. Like, I am a huge skier, and we got 10 fresh inches of powder this morning. So I got to ski a whole bunch of powder this morning, and it was so much fun. I don't have time to judge me or make my body wrong or make me wrong. It's like I am with the mountain and the snow and the turns and the skiing. And so it's about, how do you get into the flow, right? Awesome. Adele says, love your hair right now. Thank you, darling. Me too. I'm going to get it done soon. It's been a while, but I'm actually trying to grow it long. So we're going to change it up a little bit. So Irene says, experience flow, yeah, and feeling that we merit the best instead of fitting. Exactly. Exactly. And so it's never about getting it right. It's all about, what is the thing that would create the most energy, that would create the most aliveness, that would create the most excitement. Like, it wouldn't make any sense for me to be skiing and be like, I hate skiing. This is terrible. I don't like my body. I don't like being outside. I don't like being in the snow. No, when I'm skiing, it's just like, oh, right. And the snow was so deep today that I was like getting powder shots, but it was like going, and I have like the right outfits and stuff, but it was like going up my jacket, and I'm like, oh wow, that's amazing. So, my friends, this is about, really truly, if you want to change something that isn't working for you in your life, what point of view could you change it to? And this isn't fake it till you make it. This is like, just, what are those tiny little tweaks that you could start to do? And, change happens not by giant leaps, but by small little choices every day that add up to a big difference over time. Right. And so what you think matters. Your point of view matters. I'm so grateful for the tools of Access Consciousness. And when I came across them 9 years ago, I went from a I loved my life. I had a great life. I was a hairdresser. I did energy work on the side. I started doing access consciousness bars, a little shortly afterwards, and my life started to get better and better and better. And these tools literally awakened that feeling and that sensation of I could have a phenomenal life, not just a good one or a great one, right? And so, what is it in your life that you've been asking for that instead of just good, instead of just survival, it could actually be phenomenal? And the key is what are the points of views you need to change? So Dell says, growing out your own different looks and fun, yeah, as opposed to a hard slog. Right. It doesn't have to be hard. It can always, and that's the thing, my friends, transition doesn't have to be hard. Change doesn't have to be hard, right? You don't have to sacrifice. It's more like, what can you shift that's actually really easy for you to shift? And so if you're somebody who struggles with money, or maybe your point of view is it's hard to make money, or it's hard to save money, or it's hard to get ahead because I have too many bills, what's a point of view that you could adopt, right? Like, money's everywhere, and what would it take to receive more of it? That would be a different point of view than it's hard to pay my bills. Yeah. And maybe it's every time I pay my bills, I'll feel better about myself. Right? So what would it take to have more money to pay even more bills? Right? So it's tweaking those things. And you know what? It's just tiny little 1 degree shifts. And so tomorrow, yeah, struggle. Now there's a word, says Adele. So tomorrow we're actually starting a 30-day challenge. It's called the Point of View Challenge, surprise. And it's only $30 if you want to share it with 30 of your friends. So basically invite your friends to come play. They get to choose or they don't choose. Either way, if you're like, I'm in, I want to pay $30, I want to share it on social media or to my email list or whatever, you're invited to come see how much you can change in 30 days by changing what you think, by changing your points of views. And if you're like, I don't like sharing, I'm a hermit, I don't want to talk about it, you can pay $97, which is still a pretty amazing bargain. So every day we're going to dive into all the points of views that we don't even know we have that are keeping us from the life we say we want. So I'll give you guys an example. Years ago, I had a really good friend, amazing person, and she was always struggling with her weight, and she was always struggling with her body and her body image, and she knew she could lose weight, but she was never good at keeping the weight off. Any of you relate? You're really good at losing it for maybe a short amount of time, but you never really can maintain keeping your body at the place where you would like to have it, right? And so I watched her, and she'd say, I want to lose weight. 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 But her actions were every meal she would eat whatever she wanted, whenever she wanted. So we go to Starbucks and she would order a venti mocha frappuccino with extra whipped cream and chocolate sauce. And I'd be like, that is not an order of someone who wants to lose weight, right? That's an order of someone who wants to eat whatever they want to eat whenever they want to eat it. So I spent a week with her, and I was like, I was watching her food choices, and every day she'd say to me, Katherine, I want to lose weight. I want to lose weight. I want to lose weight. And I just looked at her. I was like, it was like 3 or 4 days into being with her. I was like, I actually don't believe you. And she was like, what do you mean? I said, you keep saying you want to lose weight, but when I watch your food choices and your exercise choices and your energy with your body, you just want to eat whatever you want to eat whenever you want to eat it. And she was like, oh my God, you're so right. And I said, so why don't you just give yourself permission to eat whatever you want to eat instead of making yourself wrong for what you're choosing? Well, within 4 months, she changed her points of views. I forget, she made like this 1 degree shift. It was really easy. She was like, wow, what if I gave myself permission to eat whatever I want to eat for 1 meal a day instead of all day long? And so in 4 months, I think she lost like 40 pounds, and I was like, "See? It's that 1 degree shift, my friend." So it isn't, "I'm gonna have to starve myself to lose weight," because we all know, if you've ever been there, like, having the experience of being really particular with your food and still not being able to lose weight. Why? Because you have a point of view or a thought or something that's keeping you from that change. So, my friends, you are invited to a 30-day challenge. To It's $1 a day if you share it with your friends, right? And it really is, what can you change in 30 days if you focus not on what you're doing, but on what you're thinking, because what you think matters. Yeah? Because with me? Aha. So imagine what would be different in your life if you chose to focus on not what you're doing, but instead what you're thinking. And would that change the way you look at your life? Would that change your business? Would that change your friendships? Would that change your home life? Would that change your parenting? Would that change everything and anything that you desire to change? So that's sort of my 2 cents for today, my friends. And whether or not you join the challenge, the invitation is, if something isn't working in your life, look at your points of views. And instead of just clearing them, because we all go, "Oh, I want to clear it," right? No, it's, what can you change? What point of view can you adopt, right? Or think of as different, and then see what that creates. So, oh, I probably should give you guys a link if you want to come play, right? So if you would like to come play, you can go to katherinemcintosh.com. And usually if you hit /live, you'll see all the upcoming classes that we have coming up. We're actually going to do an online foundation at the end of this month, in the beginning of April. You can join us on live. We're going to do 4 hours a day for 5 days. But if you want to come join the challenge, katherinemcintosh.com / all lowercase POV, point of view, right? So you've been challenged. What points of views can you change today to make a difference in your life right away? My friends, I'm so grateful for you. If this conversation contributed to you, or you had an aha, or you just want to say thank you, please feel free to type in the comments. If you'd like to share it on your wall or in a group you're a part of, please feel free to share it, because the more the merrier. And if you'd like to follow us on the No Judgment Diet, I go live anywhere from 3 to 5 days a week, and I just go live. So you can, on Facebook, ask to be notified when I go live, get a notification. You can follow us, you can like us, and check out the website, and we will see you somewhere in the world. Hope you all are surviving the insanity. Oh, sweet Maggie, thank you. Irene says thank you. You're so welcome, Irene. So glad you're here. So my friends, I adore you. And we'll see you wherever we see you, whenever we see you. Thank you for playing, and bye for now.